I suppose it helps if I have my camera on, doesn't it? Hello, you silly sausage. What's happening, people? How's it going? We haven't done one of these for a while. Just chewing the fat, having a chin-wag, having a blether. We've not done this for a while. Of course, now I've got a whole lot of notifications on my phone. Now that I'm not paying attention because it's charging. I haven't gone live on TikTok this time. Maybe I should have. I don't know. I'm dropping the link if anybody wants to pop up and chat. I've my kitchen window's open because it's warm here and I'm getting all this squeaky, that weird squeaky banging noise in the background. That's my kitchen window, so try to ignore that. What are you doing? I can see that there's people watching, but nobody's saying anything. Why are you sitting there not saying anything? That's weird. Mostly on Twitter, actually, but there's a whole bunch of you sitting there not saying anything. That's really strange. Okay, now I can hear myself on. Hang on. Let's mute that. I don't want to hear myself. Who is it that's lurking on Twitch? Somebody's lurking on Twitch. Why are you not saying anything? I am surrounded by packages and parcels and fringe stuff, and I'm up to here with fringe prep stuff, and I'm not well. I've got some kind of weird cold flu thing happening. And I'm a little bit sick of looking at the fringe stuff that's surrounding me. So I thought, I'll go online. Hopefully it'll be like the old days on Periscope or Haps and someone will want to come up and talk to me. Nobody's said anything to even acknowledge you're there. It says there's 27 people sitting watching and nobody's said anything. Like, what the fuck? Are we not seeing comments again? Is that what's happening? Are people commenting and it's not coming up? That's weird. Or are you just being creepy and weird and not saying anything? Fuck it. I'll drink my tea. I'll just sit and look at myself drinking my tea, slurping, slurp. There's something itching my face, and I don't know why my face is itchy. I don't know if it's my hair, or if it's allergies, or if it's dust from all the boxes of shit behind me trying to deal with the fringe. Oh man, it's crazy. Shall I show you my bits and pieces? Shall I show you all my bits and pieces? I'm quite proud actually of what I've done so far. Hi Vicky, how you doing? Finally someone says hi. And you know what I've realised? I don't have the chat overlay on so people can't even see it. There we go. Hi Vicky. What was I saying? Yeah, I keep ordering stuff and print and all that kind of shit. Half the stuff that's arrived isn't right. Most of the stuff is okay. I'm just a bit like, I feel like I'm battling with FedEx and TNT at the moment. They are like, their delivery drivers are lazy as fuck. If anybody works for TNT or FedEx, okay, the drivers coming out of the Edinburgh depot are lazy as fuck. I'm just saying. It must be the done thing to just put the parcel back on the van and say, oh, we can't find the address. Everybody else can find the address, like every other delivery company. Amazon, DPD, the Royal Mail, Parcel, everybody else can find the address. It's been the same address since 1930 when the house was built. And this is how I know yous are lying fuckers. I checked the Ring camera and there was no van in the street all day. Nobody tried to deliver any parcel and couldn't find the address. Yous are liars. Anyway, that's my rant done for the day. I can't believe, Vicky, that there are 30 4 people sitting here watching this, and you're the only person that said hi to me. What is going on? If I drop the chat and the link, do people want to come up? Or is it better if people ask for it first? I could drop the chat and the link and there could be weirdos come in. Oh man. I don't know if you can hear that my nose is still like, I'm still like clogged up. I sound whiny, like there's all this congestion shit going on. It's horrible, a whiny voice. So at least my radio show went out this week. Oh, I need to put the playlist up actually. I'll do that after this. I'll try to remember. I'll try to not put it up 4 days after it went out on air. I'm wondering if I should have went live on TikTok. It's complicated though. I need to dig out my laptop to do that. Or go live separately on my phone, but then people can't see what's happening on the screen. You just see my mug there on the phone. Hi. I'll show you what I've been doing. I'll show you. Vicky, you're the only one talking to me. I'll show you what I've been doing. Squeak. Check this bad boy out. This is my current pride and joy. I don't know if you can see that. There's too much reflection. You can see reflection off my desk. It's this is a vinyl record, framed vinyl record, and it says, "Can I make this bigger? Hang on. How do I make it bigger? I don't know if I can make it bigger. Might need to take the chat overlay to make it bigger." It says hit or miss, right? Like Jukebox Jury, and here it says jukeboxjury.info, and here it says Edinburgh Festival Fringe 2024. And I'm going to be selling these. So this is my project, but I'm doing 12 inches. Oh my. And I'm doing 7 inchers as well. Framed 7 inchers, smaller ones. So I'm currently surrounded by print, surrounded by stuff. And I've got these magnets for people's cars. These aren't being sold, these are being given away to like local people around Edinburgh, the Lothians. I'll show you this. If I can get it to come out the box. Like I say, I'm surrounded by just stuff. I suppose I should have maybe put up the... Do you know what? There's a QR code. Anybody's interested in merch, I'm here to plug my wares and sell you shit. If anybody wants to order merch, I'll put up the thing, and if anybody's subscribed to me on something, doesn't matter whether it's Twitch or 365 Sounds or Mixcloud or TikTok, whatever it is, if you've got a paid subscription to me somewhere, you'll get a 10% code for money off your merch. This is a car magnet. And it goes on the back of cars like a bumper sticker, only it's magnetic. It's got my ugly mug on it though, look. I'm not sure about that. But it's got the details of the show. So people can drive around with this on their car for a month and advertise it for me. Save me a fortune on putting signs on buses. That's the theory anyway. Oh man. What else have I been doing? Oh. Like that picture. That was a selfie, Vicky. I took that myself. Selfie on the iPhone-age. Check this out. Check this out. Oh, look, I'm actually ready to go to a festival. Alright, kid. That makes no sense unless people are from the UK. Alright, kid. I'm thinking I'd really like to shag your mum. Does anybody remember Harry Enfield and Chums? This says jukeboxjury.info, and it's got hit or miss on the records that are embroidered. These are embroidered on the bucket hat. Alright, kid. I fucking love it though. I'm actually quite happy with those. I'm gonna put up my QR codes. Anybody's interested in buying anything, hang on. Oh, what happened? Wait a minute. Did I lose my chat? No, I didn't. Here it is. My framed print. This one is 18 British pounds. I should probably model it better, shouldn't I? 18 pounds plus postage and packaging if you need it delivered to you. And or people can collect them after the shows in person. And Miat. You can hear him still choked up. It's horrible. Okay, that picture's wrong. Picture's wrong. I don't know why the picture's wrong, but when you click on it or QR code it, it goes to the right thing. It's this. I promise it won't be one that I've had on my head. They're sealed in a packet. This is the only one I've taken out, and this is mine. Ara again. Okay, all this stuff. I don't know if there's an actual. Does that? I'm gonna scan that. Does that take you just to that one item, or does it take you to the whole website? It just takes you to that one item, but it's on the website. So obviously you can still go to see what else is for sale on the website, if that makes sense. Also, there's more stuff. That's the stuff that I have here. Like personally, I have, or I'm waiting for it to be delivered. Like the little embossed coasters. I might actually make those. I need to double check the price on that because they're not as thick as I thought they were going to be when they came. So I want to readjust that. I feel like £2 each might be a little bit. I might put them down to £1.50, because they're thinner than I thought they were going to be. But anyway, I'm rambling on. Like the stickers, the coasters / beer mats, whatever. The hats. I'm getting tote bags coming. The stuff that's on this, I'm going to physically have that, and it'll be me that'll be posting it out. But there's also a print on demand. Hang on, I've turned off my chat's gone. Hang on. Yeah, it's the one item, Jeeves. Sorry, I closed off the overlay. There should be a. Okay, what I want to do is I want to put up the little QR code for the crowdfunding because that's still running, and people who want to donate to the crowdfunding, depending on how much they're donating, they'll get something. They'll get a piece of merch. So, like, if they donate over a certain amount, they'll get one of the 7-inch framed vinyls, or if they donate over a certain amount, they'll get like a coaster, whatever. So, I'm going to put that up, just have that permanently above my head. That's a crowdfunding thing. But there's also print on demand things like t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, mouse mat. Those are all print on demand. I don't have those. Those will go straight to people from Teespring. So that's that QR code, and the prices are from £12 to £55 depending on. I think the most expensive thing is £55 and it's a hoodie, and the cheapest thing is £12 for a mug. So if anybody's interested in print on demand stuff, that's the QR code for that. I know that I'm speaking really fast, but obviously this will be on a replay. People can go back and watch it later. Excuse me. So yes, I've been busy. I've been a busy bumblebee. This is still my favourite, I have to say. This is still my favourite with the Edinburgh Festival Fringe 2024 in here. And you can't really see it very well on the camera, but this is like, it looks like neon. It looks like this kind of print. Like neon, like lit up. It's hard to see it on the camera, but this is my favourite thing, jukeboxstudio.info. And like I say, there's going to be 7-inch. So these, I think these are 18, and the 7-inch ones are going to be 12. I've just ordered a bunch of mounts, cardboard mounts to go around the vinyl. I've just ordered those, so I don't have any 7-inch framed prints to show you at the moment because I'm waiting for the mounts to arrive. So those haven't been framed. I haven't done a sample of those, but yeah, I hope that makes. I'm just rambling. Let's take this off a little bit and chat a little bit more. If anybody wants to come up and talk to me, I can drop the link and you can come up and chat. What did the bee say to the wasabi? What did the bee say to the wasabi? You've just messed up the joke, Jeeves. It's what did the sushi say to the bee? Wasabi. That's Kendra's joke. You silly sausage. You silly sausage. That was funny. Messing it up was funnier than the actual joke. I've got my Earl Grey. Right, Craig? Dad jokes. G'day, mate. How's it going? I'm just going to drop the link in the chat. I was waiting for someone to ask for it, you know, if anybody wants to pop up, but I'm just going to drop it anyway and hope that no fucking weirdos come up. No, just keep our fingers crossed that it's like sane people. I mean, I say weirdos in the most loose way possible because most of my people that are my people are weirdos. I mean, like, let's hope there's no like. Let's hope nobody comes out with their nobody comes up with their cock out or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just hope there are no fucking like flashers or anything. There's the link if anybody wants to come up and chat. What have I missed? You said you're a busy bee, so you thought of the joke, but you missed the joke. Excuse me. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Excuse me while I just choked to death. How did Helen die? Well, Jeeves told a joke really poorly and she laughed herself to death. That is funny. It's 5 p.m. here. Yeah, it's midnight here. It's just turned. Fuck, it's midnight already. I used to come on after my radio show before. I used to come on I used to be on fucking Periscope all the time, let's be real, but I used to specifically go on during and after my radio show on a Friday, and then when I switched to a Thursday, I used to go live on Haps after my radio show on a Thursday. And it just felt like, let's fucking do that, because I haven't done it for a while, and let's go on when I normally go on. So he didn't kill me. No, he just shortness of breath killed me. But it was induced by you. Your bad joke. The joke made her choke. Anyway. Have I done enough plug-in? Have I done enough? I'm a rubbish salesperson. I'm a really bad salesperson. Like, even when I worked, I didn't. Okay, let me rephrase that. I never really worked in sales per se. I used to design kitchens and bathrooms, but essentially it was a sales job, right? Because if people bought something, I was given a commission on top of my wage, and I would never try and talk anybody into buying anything. I would be like, if you need any help with something, give me a shout. You know where I am. If you decide you want to buy it, give me a call. It's rubbish at sales. I need PR. Do you know what it is? I feel like I'm just crap about talking about myself, and in order to talk about this stuff, I'm essentially having to talk about myself, right? I think that's what it is. If I was doing it for someone else's show, or if I was doing it for someone else's merch, I could sell that all day. But trying to do it for myself, trickier job. Did you see my car magnets, Jeeves? Oh god, the light. It's because I've got this ring light on. It's too bright. This is a magnet for the back of vehicles. I'm not selling these. These are getting given away to local people because it's cheaper than paying for adverts on buses. 3 grand. I was quoted 3 grand. If I wanted to put a sign, just a little sign on the back of the bus, 25 signs for 4 weeks, with a 47% discount, I was quoted 3 grand. Like, who has? I'm not even going to, the buckets won't even collect 3 grand. What the fuck? At first glance, it looks like keybox jewelry, does it? Hey, Molson, how the hell are you? Oh, it's because it's on the white. But I think that's just the light. It's pretty clear, like in person. I think it's just because it's so washed out on the. If I switch this off, can you see better? Let's try that. Not really. No difference. Links in the chat, Molson, if you want to pop up and chat. I didn't think this through. That talking on my own and having to talk was going to be such a strain. Because I'm not well. I mean, I'm much better than I was, but I'm not well. When we did Jukebox Jury on Friday, I was really ill. But the difference is there was 3 of us on screen, so I had to do a third of the talking. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I'm talking on my own and I'm like, I'm like a drunk old man. I sound like a drunk old man. I'm all right, man. I was going to go live on TikToks as well, but it's too complicated. Like on this, it's gone out to everywhere. Well, pretty much everywhere. But to do TikTok as well, I need the laptop for that, and I can't be arsed setting it up. It's too much hassle. So, and then you can't see the comments coming in. I've got to monitor another screen, so I'm like, we'll skip that today. But I've been busy. Like, it doesn't look like I've been busy, but I've been busy. I'm surrounded by stuff. I've got all these beer mats that I'm going to be putting out in pubs to advertise. Are they in the they're in the bottom box, of course, so they're the hardest to get to, so I'll maybe leave. I've got a bunch of vinyl to clean. Oh, something that people are watching that might be interested in. I've got a bunch of vinyl that I need to okay, so how do I explain this? When I've been ordering vinyl from eBay, and it's usually kind of sent loose without any covers or anything, and there's something wrong with it, like it's scratched or it's not in perfect condition for them to sell as a playable vinyl. So I've been buying them in bulk without the artwork on them, just loose. But I've been sent a bunch that still have the sleeves on them, still have the cardboard sleeves on them, and I don't need those. I only need the vinyls. So if anybody, for any reason, needs cardboard sleeves, cardboard artwork for, I don't know, an art project or something, I'd rather not throw them away in the bin. If someone can use them, if they can be, used as collage or, an art project or something, or if somebody's got, covers. I'm not going to go through them all and photograph them all or any of that shit. They'll all be getting sent to someone. Do you know what I mean? I don't have time to figure out if I've got the spare cover for something that they don't have. I don't have time for that. But if anybody wants cardboard 12-inch cardboard vinyl sleeves for any reason, just the sleeves, let me know and I'll get them sent to you because I'd rather not. I hate wastage and I'd rather not put them in the bin. It seems like such a waste, especially when someone's gone to the time and trouble to design them. Some fucking amazing artwork has been on vinyl, been on album cover artwork over the years. But I just don't have anywhere to store it and it's no good to me. I don't need it for anything. It would just be me hoarding it for the sake of it. So if anybody needs those, let me know and I'll get them to you. There was another thing whilst I remembered. Hang on while I blow my snotty nose. I'm trying to mute my mic and it didn't mute. That's weird. Oh, that's better. A little bit. So we've got lurkers everywhere. We've got lurkers on Twitch. We've got lurkers on... mostly on Twitter, actually. Nobody's said anything. Can someone do me a wee favour and nip onto Twitter and just test the theory? If anyone comments on that, if it comes through, I would like to know because it did for a while. But there are so many people there that are quiet. I'm wondering if it's not coming through on Restream. So would someone mind awfully just nipping onto my Twitter and checking if the comments come through, please? Because I don't want to be ignoring anyone, and I might need to change this at the bottom where it says if you're if you're watching on Mixcloud or TikTok, we can't see your comments. I might need to change that back to Twitter again. Squeak. Squeak. I need to very quickly share this to the radio page because it's not gone live out to the radio page. I've put it onto the Jukebox Jury page because I'm going to start doing that during the Fringe. Oh no, that's not the... I don't want that. Hang on. What is going on? Helen, you're rubbish. What's going on? Let's try that again, shall we? I need a new mouse. This is my biggest conclusion, is that the mouse that I have for this computer is just a bit rubbish. Sometimes it wants to work, and sometimes it doesn't. You try to highlight something and it drops half of it. And now it just doesn't want to... It's coming through. Thank you, Jeeves. So it does work. It's just that people are sitting there quietly not wanting to say anything. Thank you. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. Okay, let's do it this way. I'll go on to this bit here. Excuse me. I'm sorry that I keep coughing in your ear holes. It's not nice. Coughing in your ear holes. Here we go. You're working on a project. Hello, Molson from X. I'm still calling it Twitter though. So it is working. Thank you for popping over there and checking it for me. I feel like I'm not missing out on something. It's just that people aren't commenting, and that's okay. But if I was missing shit, I'd be annoyed. What project? What project have you been working on, Jeeves? Tell me. Tell your Auntie Helen all about it. Ooh, fancy schmancy. Does that give you more room for maneuver? Because I know you're quite limited, you're quite tight for space where you've got your green screen? Does that give you more room? Because that's cool. Look at that, I've almost finished that cup of tea already, I'm enjoying it too much. Plus I'm giving it all this. That's good, I'm so glad. That's good, Chiefs. Did you get like, are you getting bigger desks or something? Like, are you the only problem with that is if you get a bigger desk, you'll find more shit to put on it. Like, I've got this tiny little desk, it's like, I'm just over a meter, maybe I think it's a meter or a meter 20, right? And it's got all this stuff on it, right? It's got a soundboard and I put my laptop there and I've got my stuff. And I wanted to put a desk down that way that runs like an L shape. But I know if I do, I'll find more shit to put. Like I'll have a mixer, like a DJ mixer, and then I'll have a fucking synthesizer. Like I'll put more shit on it. I think there's a delay in real time between each of them. I think perhaps YouTube isn't quite in real time. There's always a delay. There's always latency on everything. The fastest is usually well, I'm not on it, but Heckle's actually the quickest. It's like almost instantaneous. I would say Twitch is faster than YouTube, and YouTube is faster than Twitter. I think Twitter's the slowest. I'm not sure about Facebook. I haven't ever tested because I'm never on there. Although I'm live on it just now, I never check other people's stuff from it, so I'm not sure what the latency is on Facebook. He has done a good job with Heckle. The problem is that I can't custom RTMP to Heckle, which means I can't send this to Heckle. If I want to go live on Heckle, I can only go live on Heckle on my phone. I mean, even TikTok and Instagram, there's a way to live stream from this desktop, restream, whatever, to send it to I can't do it to Heckle. Which is a shame because quite a lot of the original community are on there. And I always forget about it. I go on there if someone else is live and I get a notification, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go and talk to so-and-so. But I'm always forgetting to actually go live on it. I feel a little bit distant from... And I'll go in there and people are like, oh, I remember you from Periscope. And I've not got a fucking clue who they are. I don't recognise any of the names. I don't know if they've changed their names or if it's the same name and I'm just really bad with names. I don't know. But I barely recognise. There's a few people that I recognise, but I barely recognise anyone. The Jeeves, they don't even need a desktop. They could just have, because custom RTMP is, it's important for people like, do you remember Grant? Do you remember Geelong, Australian Grant, who used to like stream drone footage and stuff like that? Like, those people don't need a desktop version, but they need to be able to custom RTMP that signal into the app from like a GoPro or a drone, or do you know what I mean? Quite a lot of like IRL, what we used to call streaming when we did Periscope, they call it IRL now, but we were doing that 10 fucking years ago. Like, it's not so much about sitting at a desk and doing this, which we all kind of started doing with Haps, really. But we were all on our phones before that. Like, we were all out and about on our phones before Haps made it a thing that you would sit. I would never live stream sitting at a desk before Haps. I mean, when I was in the radio studio live, I would go on Twitch or I'd go on Periscope or both, but it was always on a phone. Yeah, the end of May, so, well, a month ago. Happy belated birthday to you too. I hope you had a good one. Mine was chilled out. We went for dinner and drinks at the weekend after it. So my birthday was on the Wednesday and we went out on the Friday night. Well, you can. You can go it through OBS and then send it out through Restream, but you still got to have Restream. I know what you're saying. I know Twitch does guest stars, but I was really unimpressed with that. When we tried to test guest stars, I was really unimpressed by that. I was like, where's the fucking point when you've got there's nothing that we've tested or tried out that's better than Restream. Or StreamYard. StreamYard and Restream are virtually identical, but there's nothing else. People keep saying, oh, try this, try that, try that. But there's too many things that are not to the same standard as Restream. There's nothing that's surpassed it in terms of quality and even the ability for guests to multicast. Like people are like, oh, try this, try. And I'm not going to name drop people. I don't want to sound like I'm bitching about anyone, but I'm sick of being told, try this, try that, try. And it's like, well, I've already got Restream. And this shit that you're showing me isn't better than Restream. I understand that you don't want to pay for Restream because you're a miser and you're trying to do something for free, but that isn't better than Restream. Do you know what I mean? So, and the biggest, apart from the fact that everything works. I mean, I don't know if you remember Haps, but screen sharing on Haps was a fucking nightmare. It was always glitchy. It slowed everything down. You know, if you wanted to show a video on Haps, you had to really essentially download the video and then play it as a video. You tried to screen share something from YouTube was fucking awful. That's not the case here. I can sit and watch and broadcast out a full 2-hour documentary, screen sharing it from Restream on a Sunday night. I do it every week. And it's spot on. There's nothing wrong with it. But the biggest thing about Restream is guests coming in can put it out to their channels. And that's going to matter when I go back to interviewing musicians, and I'm going to be doing something with the radio station soon because they're launching something beginning of July. Big project. So you know, having me doing a live stream and the radio station being able to connect it to the radio station channels as well. That's important. When I did that interview with Rusty, most of the people in the chat, yeah, okay, there were Haps people in there because we had a community, but most of the people in the chat asking questions were Rusty's people. They were Rusty's fans because Rusty was able to multicast it to his channels. Because obviously Haps had that ability. But this is actually better than Haps because with Haps, you couldn't see all the comments coming in from all the channels. If you wanted to see that, you had to be in Haps. Whereas I've got the chat on the screen, so people can see that, you know, Molson's on YouTube and you're on Twitch. We never had that ability unless you were physically on Haps to see that before. Like someone sitting on YouTube wouldn't be able to see someone commenting from Facebook because it didn't come across the screen. You had to physically be in Haps to see that. So Restream is even better than Haps. And people keep saying, you know, they keep going on about, oh, nothing's better than really. Well, no, Restream's better than Haps. It's more reliable. It's virtually identical in terms of, you know, layout in the studio. It's virtually identical, but it's more reliable. I'm sick of hearing people talking about other things. Try this, try that. No, I've got something that hasn't been surpassed yet. Okay, yeah, I pay for it. I paid for it for the year and got a huge discount when I paid for it. I don't have to worry about it every month. It's paid for. Why the fuck would I go to a free thing that's unreliable, that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't? You know, sometimes shows comments, sometimes doesn't. Can't multicast to other people. Why would I do that? Makes no sense. I was even giving out a discount code to people who wanted to sign up to Restream. I was even giving them a discount code that went along with. So they had a sale. I think it was, I can't remember if it was Black Friday or something. They had a sale. If you bought an annual subscription, it was cheaper. But then also there was a discount code on top of that. And people are still too stingy to just pay for it. Crazy. Crazy. Anyway, I'm rambling and I don't want to do that. the point I was originally making was none of us used to stream from behind a desk until HAPS. We were all IRL streamers on our phones. I sound really choked up. I'm so sorry. I've got snacks and I didn't even eat any of them. And I finished my cup of tea, so there's nothing to have them with now. There's nobody coming up to talk to me. I dropped the link in the chat. Anybody's welcome to come in and have a chin-wag. But be aware that if you do, I might leave you on your own for 5 minutes while I pour tea. Just be aware. You have to hold the fort for 5 minutes. Ooh, snake. Ooh, snake? What? Does anybody want to translate Jeeves for me? Because I feel like Jeeves has either been on the drink, or he's not had enough sleep, or he's not caffeinated, and something's going on with Jeeves. Does somebody want to translate Jeeves for me? Vicky, are you still here? Can you translate your man for me? Because I don't know what's going on with him. Well, first of all, he fucked up the joke. Now he's talking about snakes. I think Danger Noodle in his house. I don't think they have snakes in Canada. Do they? Do they have snakes in Canada, Jeeves? Ooh, my neck just clicked. Did you guys hear that? That's old age. Someone said that to me the other day. The delivery man came with my grocery shopping. And of course, I've got the fucking strap on my knee, right? Because I've still got that knee injury. And I asked him if he could hold the tray up, the trough up, so I could so I didn't have to bend so far to put it in the bags. Not only because it fucking hurts my back and my knee trying to bend, but also I don't bend in front of the guy, right? So I'd asked him to lift it a wee bit higher so it was easier for me to reach in to put it in a bag. Because when they deliver it, they don't deliver it in bags because they're environmentally friendly and all that shit. So they deliver it in like a plastic trough, essentially, right? And then you have to take that out and put it in a bag or take it into your house or whatever, right? And the guy said to me, "You're like a wee old woman. How old are you? You can't even be much older than me." I said, "You're right, I feel like an old woman." Cheeky fucker. Like, well, that's what happens. You have an injury and it knocks everything else off. You know, it makes everything else. You start. I didn't explain all this, but I'm having this conversation with you. Like, you know what it's like if you have an injury, you hurt one of your legs, and you start walking to compensate for the pain, and then all of a sudden everything fucking aches. But I just thought it was really funny. He was like, because I'd asked him to lift it, so it was easier for me to bend, because I didn't want to bend down in front of him, and I was in pain. How old are you? He says, "How old are you? You can't be much older than me. You're like a wee old woman." A wee old woman. A wee old woman. I'm 5'10" and about 16 stone. You're like a wee old woman. And I didn't know what to say because I had to agree with him because I feel like a fucking wee old woman. Prairie rattlesnakes. Jeez, oh. Right, hang on though. Which part of you? I think you're in a different part of Canada though, Molson. Jeeves is in Vancouver. And I'm so sorry, I've completely forgotten which part you're in. I know it's a snowy part because I've seen you shoveling your fucking drive and shit. But I can't remember where you are because I'm a wee old woman and my brain's fried, clearly. Jesus on the bus. He did. He said, "How old are you?" I think he just wanted to know how old I am, nosy bastard. I said, "Why, how old are you?" He says, "You can't be much older than me. How old are you?" I says, "Why, how old are you? And how old do you think I am?" "Oh, yeah, Sacagawea." I knew that you were in Saskatchewan. I actually had forgotten that. Jeeves, I know you're in Vancouver. I just said that. What are you like, man? That's a running joke as well, Sacagawean. If anybody's seen The Night in the Museum, you'll understand the joke. I used to joke with Molson about that all the time. Sacagawean. He's Sacagawean. Um, God, I forgot what I was saying. I think he wanted to know how old I am. This delivery driver, whilst simultaneously telling me that he's 35. Cheeky bastard. Anyway, it was quite funny, I suppose, afterwards. I was just like, "Fuck, like, why don't you just kick me while I'm down already?" Plus, not only did I have the injury with the knee and, my back's always dodgy, but I've got this fucking chesty whatever the fuck this is, and I felt like at the weekend when it was delivered, I kinda had, like, a flu, like, I had no energy, like, I felt like shit. I'm not old, I am wise. Well, he guessed my age at around 40. Because I said to him, "How old do you think I am?" He said, "I don't know, about 40." Considering I looked and felt like total fucking shit, I'll take that. I'll actually take that. If you'd said 50, I would have been slightly more devastated. There's a funny YouTube clip from the movie. It's a good film. My kids used to watch it when they were little. So it's one of those things that you're kind of brainwashed with, and every so often, like, one of the lines will get quoted. So we'll just be minding our own business doing something, and then one of us will say, like, "You know dum dum, you bring me gum gum." From nowhere, for no reason. Because that's the kind of weird shit that we do. Even though they're all adults now. "You know dum dum, you bring me gum gum." I want more tea. Who's gonna come up? We've got 2 options here. Well, actually, we've got 3 options here, alright? First option, I sit here talking by myself, parched, desperate for a cup of tea, and not getting one, right? That's the first option. The second option, and this is my feeling sorry for my face. Hang on a minute, hang on. Let me just try and get my sad face on. I could never be an actress. Right, this is my sad face, right? So I could sit here gasping for a cup of tea, not getting one, parched. Or someone could come up and hold the fort for 5 minutes and talk to my people while I go make a cup of tea. Or I could, well, actually, I was going to say I could end the live stream, but I suppose I could play a bit of music first and then go make a cup of tea. Or play a video. Tim Hortons is crazy. Too many people in it. You're trying to get. Jeeves has been trapped in Tim Hortons. That's it. That's it. He's not getting out now. It sounds like Edinburgh during the Fringe. Anywhere in the city centre. You can't move for people. I won't stick around for long, actually, thinking about it, because that's how long have I been live? 49, fuck, nearly an hour, 49 minutes. I've got 40 people sitting there watching me not saying anything. and there's like 3 people chatting, and everybody else is being weird for no reason. Apparently, there's adverts on Twitch, or there's about to be. Can I postpone those? Hang on, how do I do that? Can I snooze them? Yeah, let's snooze the adverts. Oh, only lets you snooze it for 5 minutes. Okay, well, in 5 minutes there might be some adverts on Twitch, just giving you the heads up. You can do both chat and be weird. I think we all have that in common, Craig. You know what I mean? Let's be honest, right? And I know I've said this before, and I know my Periscope people have heard me say this before, and I know that I'm repeating myself. But anybody who goes live, anybody who hits the go live button and sits talking to a screen, talking to themselves, talking to a camera, or wherever, has to be a little bit fucking weird. Right? Like, completely normal, sane people wouldn't put themselves through the shit that you put yourself through when you're live streaming. Especially on Periscope. Like, there were so many nutters on there and, you know, crazy people and stalkers and like no normal sane, you know, person would put themselves through that. So anybody who goes live has to be slightly nuts. And I think there's varying degrees of that. You know? Some of us are fucking more nuts than others, but you know. Superb. Have an absolutely great night, Molson. Enjoy your supper. Now you're making me feel hungry because you're talking about food and I never ate my snacks. Snacks. It's midnight here. You consider yourself nutty. Nuttier than a fruitcake. I think that's an Only Fools and Horses phrase, actually. I don't know if you've ever watched. I know that we were talking about Only Fools and Horses to Stefano the other day. That was a cool conversation. How long were we talking before we even went live? That was cool. We were talking about the most random shit. I really want tea. It looks like I'm going to have to just drink water because that's what I've got. And no one's coming up to look after my stream. I could play a video. What if I play a video about the Fringe and go make a cup of tea while it's playing? I could do that, eh? One moment, please. Please hold. Please hold. Where would that be? Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So when you go live on YouTube, your little like teaser video thing that usually sits prominent isn't there. It's the live video that's on that part. That's interesting. All right. So I am going to share this. It's 3 minutes long. So it's just long enough to go make a cup of cha, right? Let's do that. If I can... I could play music, but it might bore people, Jeeves, and I've still got to find something, and then I've got the whole copyright shit nonsense afterwards. So, and this is going out on YouTube, so I'd rather just play a video. It's easier. Has that shared over? Yes, it has. Okay, so I am going to play this video and make a cup of tea, and I'll be back in 3. And if people are here, cool, and if people have fucked off, that's okay too. I will be back in a minute. Can I make this full screen? Yes, I can.
Fringe is so important.
Because it gives breaks to young artists and young performers coming through. You can be experimental, you can be dangerous. You can push the edge of something, of the theatrical experience.
I think the Fringe is vital because it stimulates new work.
As an international artist coming from South Africa, I think that this platform is so valuable.
That's what the Fringe is. It's a launch as well as a joy to be part of.
It gives an outlet to a lot of people who wouldn't normally get the chance to be in an environment where so many journalists are. And what an extraordinary experience, you know, to see this amount of creativity in one place.
I love it. I think it is an important, unique experience. Every young person who wants to make a career in the theatre, in dance, in music, in cabaret, they should be here, testing out their wares, learning from seeing what other people are doing. What an opportunity the Fringe offers. It's nourishing art in every form.
There's so many incredible things to see that you can't see anywhere else at any other time of the year.
Hollywood has so many walls and so many people in front of everybody. It's effort to get to know people. The Fringe, you have world-class people and world-class talent, and they just want to have a drink and shoot the breeze. And that's very cool.
To go to Edinburgh and hopefully find stuff that you know nothing about, that's the great adventure of it, and I love that.
Well, for the performer, it makes you stretch your abilities and see what you're really made of.
The Edinburgh Fringe is important because it's fun. People need fun in their lives.
There's nothing else like it. There's no other festival in the world that has that level of excitement and energy and intensity.
This is the place where you can really connect with people again.
My goodness, I am having a good time here.
Ta-da! She's back. I was just checking my mic was on because I've got a habit of muting it there. What's going on with this piece of hair? What is this? What's this floppy bit? It's really annoying. Is it meant to go that way? Is it meant to go that way? I don't fucking know. I don't know what's going on. It's just doing its own fucking thing. But it's annoying me, like that flippy. What's I saying? Yeah, I've got a habit of not only muting it on the restream, but also putting it down on the desk. I keep forgetting to put it back on the desk. Excuse me. Good grief. Who's still here? Can we take a show of hands? A temperature check? It says I've got 40 people watching. I don't know if I believe that or not. I don't know how truthful that is. If you're here and you're watching my ugly mug, can you just say here? Show hands. Hans Zimmer. You were never here because you're the invisible man, Jeevils. I need to fix this annoying thing. So what do I still need to talk about? Have I talked enough? Have I sufficiently shown off my stuff? What else have I still got to do? I need to clean vinyl. Like I say about the if anybody wants covers, album covers, or like cardboard vinyl album covers or 12-inch single covers, let me know. And I'll post them out to you. Showing you my hats, which I'm very excited about because I think they're fantabulous. Or they would be if I could get it straight. It's a bit wonky. Why is it wonky? What's going on? That way. It was worse that way. Holy shit, Helen. Can't even put a hat on. It's because everything's weird and distorted because of the... And the stuff that's print on demand, like this here, the t-shirts that we are going to be wearing during the Fringe have my face on them. This. Right? These... Oh, I never showed you my t-shirt. There's a good thing I never showed you. But these aren't the merch t-shirts. These are the t-shirts for the people that are going to be working the show. That are handing out flyers and stuff. So this has got the little logo on the front. Everything's mirrored because it's weird. They've got the little logo on the front. And then they've got my ugly mug on the back. Like this. Right? It's so big. I'm trying to hide behind, try to see behind it. But these are not the ones that are for sale. These are the ones for the people that are working the show. So the ones that I've designed for print on demand are similar to that, but they've got, instead of having my face, they have this logo. In fact, you know what? It'd be easier to just show you. Hang on a wee minute here. Let's just show you. That would be easier. Here we go. Here we go. There's the linky links. And here's what it looks like on here. Has that jumped? There we go. So this logo here, there's two. This one that's just this on either side, right? This is the cheapest mug. It's the same on both sides. And then you've got this one, which is a bit like the mouse mat, which doesn't have my face on it. It just has the logo. And then like the wraparound. And instead of having the dates for the Fringe, it has Live at the Edinburgh Fringe across it. It looks like this. Can you see that? Can I make that bigger? Because it looks really small on this screen. I think that might be as big as it's going to go. But it has like these, the yeah, it's not going to work. It has like the hit and miss logo, but it doesn't have my face on it. So you don't have to walk around. If anybody wants to order a t-shirt or a hoodie, you don't have to walk around with my face on it. I redesigned that on purpose because nobody's going to want to buy anything if it's got my face on it. It's different if you're on the street team handing out flyers. That's different because obviously we want it to look like the posters for the show, right? So this is like the hoodie, and it's the same thing again. It's got the logo on the back. And it's got the my throat, man. It's got the little logo on the corner. There's another one that's got a bigger logo on the front and nothing on the back. This one. This has got the big logo on the front and it's a plain back. And obviously the short-sleeved ones as well. You can have a look. I've put the thing in the thing. I've put the thing in the thing. That's the technical term. I put the link in the chat. And like I say, if anybody's got a subscription anywhere, because I know there are a few people, there are some people who have got TikTok subscriptions, there are some people who have got Twitch subscriptions. 365 Sounds is just launching, but if anybody has a subscription to me anywhere that's a paid subscription, doesn't matter which platform it is, let me know and I'll send out a money off link for 10% off any merch that you order. It doesn't matter whether it's print on demand or whether it's the stuff that I'm posting. So the discount will apply either way. I'm trying to see if I've got... Is there a QR code? Yeah, that's the QR code for that site for the print on demand stuff, but that is more expensive. The stuff that I'm selling, I've tried to do as cheaply as possible. Uh-oh, I've lost my chat. There we go. Ooh, I've just noticed something. When you used to close off the chat overlay before, when you brought it back, you lost all your chat. It was just plain black, and then I had to start again from scratch from that point on, right? But I just put that chat overlay back up again, and all the chat's still there. So Restream have been tweaking something. That's cool, because that used to bother me. You know, you take off the chat overlay for a minute and then put it back, and then it'd be like, oh, I've lost all the chat. Welcome back, Jivos. So that's cool. I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. I do. I be liking that one. I be liking that. Oofed. Hiccups. That's not good. I need to close that kitchen window. I've got it open for fresh air because I like to have fresh air, but it's too squeaky and it's annoying. Okay. Is there anybody in the chat that wants to see anything specific? Do you want to see my vinyl again? Do you want to see my hat again? Do you want any QR codes put up? Or do you think I've done enough of the plug-in? Do you think I've plugged enough? I feel like I'm rubbish at this. This is why TikTok keep telling me to sell on TikTok. They keep contacting me. They keep saying, would you like to sell on TikTok? You know, blah, 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 blah. Commission, this, that, and the other. And the reason that I couldn't fucking, you know, be a seller on TikTok is because I'm shit at trying to sell stuff. The bucket hat, Jeeves. There you go. It doesn't have anything else on it, any other sides. It's just, this is embroidered. It's not like, it's not printed on. It's embroidered in. And there's the QR code for it. I know the photo's wrong, and I don't know why the photo's wrong, because the photo's correct on the site. But that's the photo for the bucket hat. And it's 15. Anything else? I don't know if I showed you these individually printed beer coaster / beer mat / coasters. These are not the ones that are getting handed out to pubs. These are the ones that are for selling. They're like, these are individually. Ooh, there's a little rattling. I'm sorry. These are individually wrapped. Right, they've got a little. They come in a little polythene, little cellophane thing. Whatever it says on the site is correct, Jeeves. So I don't know why this has come up wrong. Whatever it says on the website is the correct thing. Okay, this is like embossed. I don't know if you can see that in the light. So the ones that are getting handed out to pubs are like paper, right? And they're thinner and they're just paper. And this is like embossed, shiny. And it's got the details of the show, and then on the other side it says the website, jukeboxjury.info. These are called these aren't paper, these are called pulp board. They're like thicker and shiny, and this is embossed. But again, they're thinner than I thought they were going to be. So I might have to have a look at the price of that. I'll take that off. I mean, there's stickers for 50p. There's like hit and miss stickers for 50p. I'll need to figure out what's going on with the... I don't know why those... If the price is different, Jeeves, I'm not sure why. That's really weird. I'll need to investigate that. Again, the photos are wrong as well, right? So that embossed coaster is showing the wrong photo. So there's obviously something. I've put in the information onto Restream, but the translation between the website and the Restream, there's something gone awry. Whatever's on the website is correct. And it's the website that'll be taking the payment and everything like that. Sum up, or like the credit card, the card reader people. It's their selling platform. So whatever's on that is correct. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with I'm not entirely sure what's going on. See, even there's the framed print doesn't even have a photo, and there's a photo on the website, but it hasn't even come up with a photo. So I don't know why that's wrong. This is the thing I'm most proud of, because there's a lot of work went into these. This is the thing I'm most proud of. There's a lot of shit going on behind it, like a lot of like graft going behind, like you saw a little bit of it in a live stream where I was sitting cleaning boxes of vinyl with antibacterial wipes, like, but there's a lot of tedious stuff. Hang on, I'm trying to get rid of this QR code. I'm rubbish at this. Tedious, like, labor intensive stuff that's gone on behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? That people won't even be aware of. And me having to constantly be in contact with printing companies that I'm not like the print stuff, and then I'm not happy with the print and I have to contact them again. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's been laborious, and taken up a lot of time. And like, for the amount of time that's gone into putting the merch together, the merch that I'm sending out is actually really cheap. Like, compared to, like, when I think about how much work's gone into making it and buying it, obviously from print people, the print on demand stuff I don't really have much control over. A lot of that's determined by whether you're ordering it, because the way that it works, there isn't someone making it in the UK. It's either the States or Europe. And from what I can gather, it looks like even if you're here, it's cheaper to order it from the States than from Europe. So that's an odd one. Like, when I was looking at Teespring's website, I was like, that's so weird. It makes no sense. So I don't know. I've touched those coasters, and I know there's nothing wrong with them, but I'm a pain in the arse about having clean hands, and I might nibble my snacks, so I need to cleanse my hands. Would you like a bit of sanitizer gel? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there's been a lot of, like, it doesn't look like it, but there's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes. All I seem to do is order stuff, check it. You know, like I say, I'm sitting cleaning fucking vinyl. Because these are real records that are framed. Someone asked that the other day. They're like, oh, that looks quite real. You know, is that it's not a print, it's an actual vinyl. But I'm not expecting people to open it up and play it, because they're just like, they're scratched or unplayable records. But they are real, you know, and I've no idea what's on them. Like, everybody will get a different one. And I'm not expecting anybody to take the frame apart to try and find out what the vinyl. That's not the point of it. It's supposed to be commemorative, like a piece of artwork for Jukebox Judy at the Edinburgh Fringe. But it's not a print. It is a real vinyl. So I wanted to clarify that, because someone asked that question the other day. They're like, "Oh, is that real or is that print?" It looks quite real. It's like, it is real, but it's not for playing. It's artwork. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Don't be expecting to take it all apart and then play it, because it's probably scratched. I bought it that way. Yeah, but I've sat for hours cleaning everything with piles and piles of antibacterial wipes. And then I've had to, have all the labels printed and have all the mount boards cut, and, getting the frames and, you know, for all the work that's went into it, 18 quid's a bargain. I'm sorry, but it is. I should probably put the prices up. Excuse me. Anywho's. God, what is wrong with me? I think I'm talking too much and it's just like affecting, you know. Does nobody want to come up and chat? I'm so surprised by that. I honestly thought there'd be a whole queue of people lined up to come in and have a chin-wag. Oh, instead you'd all just rather sit and stare at me, which is weird. I feel like all I've done is sit here and try to sell people stuff. And that's not the point. And the thing about the merch that is the stuff that I've got access to, the main point is really for people that are going to the shows to be able to buy something. But I've got it set up so that, because setting up a table and finding space to do that in a tiny venue and then having crowds of people around and, you know, that's going to be awkward. So I've set it up so that people can order it online, pay for it, and then collect it the next day after the show. Like, I'll just have the stuff in the car and then people can say, they show me the receipt, I bought blah blah blah, or give me their name or whatever, and I'll have it in a bag ready to go with their stuff in it. So people aren't having to like mooch around. I mean, I might, if I've got space and a spare pair of hands to manage a merch stall, I might set one up. But I suspect there's not going to be enough space, you know, for people to mooch around a merch stall. But at least if they can order stuff, it's easy for me to see who's ordered stuff. I can just have it. And, you know, at the end of the show, not at the beginning of the show, because obviously I'll be running around like a headless chicken setting up, but after the show, they can just collect their merch that they've already paid for. I thought that was quite a good, like click and collect. I thought that was a clever idea. People might be like, fuck that, I want to touch it and feel it and look at it and see it. And I'm like, well, where am I going to put a table? And where am I going to find a spare pair of hands to help me with the table? Because there's things to do in the other room. I'll see what I can do. But I'm excited. I'm really happy with the bucket hats. I wasn't sure how that was going to pan out because they messaged me and said, we can't embroider them because there's too many colours in your logo. No, Jeeves, I can ship it elsewhere. I don't know how much it'll be to ship it elsewhere. I might need to investigate that, but nothing's particularly heavy. Like, the heaviest thing will probably be the 7-inch framed singles because those frames are glass, and the 12-inch ones are Perspex. That's a Perspex frame, so that'll be lighter than a 7-inch one. The hats obviously are just cotton, so you can probably get a rough idea. I can't do it right now, but you can probably get a rough idea if you just have a look to see how much it costs to send things from the UK to Canada. Like, I'm not going to be charging over the odds for postage. I'll be charging what it costs to post it, like at cost price. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be like adding money on to, oh, it cost a tenner to send it, I'm going to charge them 20 quid. Like, I'm not going to do that. And like I say, there's nothing that's particularly heavy. The heaviest thing will be a 7-inch framed single because it'll be glass on the frame. Like I say, these are quite light because they're Perspex. So although they're bigger, they should be lighter. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it should make sense. Sometimes I question myself if I'm explaining things very well. And I know that I talk super fast, and I'm sorry. Oh, God, itchy bloody nose. Itchy snitchy nose. There was something else I wanted to check. Like I say, the print on demand stuff will be coming from Teespring. That won't be coming from me. So I won't have to worry about, I don't know how much they charge for postage or whatever, but they definitely have someone printing it in the States, because when I was trying to order samples, they were going to send it from the States. But I ended up not ordering the sample because when I went to go to the checkout, so it was giving me a cost in US dollars. Say it was like 70 US dollars, right? I think it was 60 something. Let's just round up. Let's say it was 70 US dollars. And then when I went into PayPal to pay for it, it was telling me it was £70. Like whatever the amount was in dollars in USD, it was telling me in pounds, which then makes it more dollars. Like I think it was something like I think it was like $63. And they wanted to charge me £63, which was working out at like $83. Like it was like an extra $20 on top of whatever the price was. And I'm like, hold on a fucking minute. The website told me this was USD. Why are you charging me parity in pounds and it's actually like $20 more? So I ended up not ordering the sample from Teespring. But when I was trying to order a sample from them, they were going to send it from the States, not from Europe, which was weird. But that's how they work. So they definitely have people printing them in America. I think they're an American company. But I never did get to the bottom of being charged an extra $20. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm not ordering and I wanted a sample of the mouse mat and I wanted a sample of the long sleeved t-shirt without my face on it. Meh. It won't matter. But I would still like to know why they did that because it's annoying. You know, if you're telling me it's X amount in US dollars, that's why I expect to be charged, not an extra $20 on top of that. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. I can't believe nobody wants to come up and say hi. Like, that's so weird to me. Are you all shy? It's odd. Yes, I've never been shy before. Yes, I've never been shy before. I'm looking for the I'm looking for the other group chat. I can't find it. Do 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 do. I wonder why that came into my head. That do 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 do. Is that not like at the start of the film? It's a film company jingle, I think. Isn't it funny how random shit comes into your head? And it's like, where did that come from? From literally nowhere. Squeak! I can't wait to see what happens when I set up that. So I never told you guys the story of the print stuff. So the way that the Edinburgh Fringe works, right? There's only one company that's allowed to put up outdoor posters. And they're usually all printed on like corrugated plastic, like Corex. And a company called Out of Hand has the contract with Edinburgh Council. And anybody else who tries to put posters up outside will get like fined for fly posting, right? So they've got that stitched up. So I was like, okay, because they put them all up on railings and street furniture and all different places all over the city, and they charge a fortune for it. Really fucking expensive. So I thought, how can I mitigate this? So I thought, okay, what big buildings are there with like big fences and stuff that are not anything to do with the council, like private property? So I tried to contact. There's a music venue. I didn't know that it was a music venue that owned it, but there's a big railing along a main street in Edinburgh, and it belongs to a field, right? There's this railing fence that goes all the way around this field. And then behind the field, there's a music venue, but it's sufficiently far enough away that you would not think that the field was owned by that music venue. So I had contacted I'd seen a planning application on the internet that they were trying to build something on this field. So I contacted the planner, the company that was in charge of the planning application, and he put me in touch with the previous owners. And both of those guys were lovely, very helpful, and hoping that I would get a good outcome. The guy who had previously owned it forwarded my email to the manager of this music venue, because that music venue owned that field. But they're not doing anything with it. It's just a field with fencing around it, right? And he was lovely as well. And then the guy who had previously owned it, the manager from the music venue was just a dick. Like a total dick. He obviously didn't want me to put a banner on the railing, but rather than just say, "No, we don't want you to do that," he was trying to make up all these crappy excuses to justify his decision to say no. And they were all bullshit excuses, like none of them made any sense. It was like, "We can't have it oversaturated, any posters should be for this venue to avoid confusion, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, first of all, it's a field in front of it. Like, nobody's going to think that that's anything to do with that venue because it's too far away. Secondly, there's nothing happening in August at that venue. I even asked the question in the email, like, is your venue being used as a fringe venue? Because there's nothing in your diary for the entirety of August except one gig. There's like one the day before the fringe starts on the 1st, and then there's one gig on the 23rd during the fringe. There's nothing else in their diary. So there's no other shows that are going to need posters or anything put up to advertise, because there's nothing happening at the venue. And then he was like, "Well, it's an Edinburgh Council rule. You can't have too many oversaturation." And I'm like, he said in the city, and I'm like, "You're not even in the city. You're literally classed as an out of town shopping centre. This is called Brown Belt." Even in the planning application for them trying to build on the fucking field, they call it Brown Belt. You know how Green Belt, Brown Belt land is what they call it. It's right next to a little group of shops, like an Aldi, a Marks and Spencer's, a Costa, like a little retail park. It's classed as an out of town retail park. And then to the other side of it, there's an Asda, which is classed as an out of town shopping centre. And the reason I know it's classed as an out of town shopping centre is because immediately behind it, there's a Sainsbury's, which used to be a B&Q. And B&Q was not given planning permission to expand because it was classed as an out of town. They didn't want to take people out of the town to shop there, even though it's fucking B&Q. There are no city centre B&Qs, which is, for those of you who are not in the UK, B&Q's like Home Depot, right? They wanted to expand a smaller DIY store to make it what's called a B&Q warehouse, a bigger DIY store. And they were not given the planning permission to expand it because it was classed as an out of town shopping centre. And they didn't want to take people out of the city centre, right? So that area is not defined as the city centre. It's about 3 or 4 miles out. This guy was just making shit up to justify a poor decision. And I would much rather he just said, "No, we didn't want you doing that." So in my head, I'm like, okay, but that's a major arterial route, and traffic going past there would be great. And it's not in the city centre, and it's not going to be in anybody's way. Maybe I could put a trailer, like an advertising trailer, and park it on the side of the road. And then I'm like, I'll go one better. I've ordered this A-frame to go on the top of my car. I've bought roof bars, or a roof rack, whatever. It's actually just 2 bars, roof bars. And an aluminum A-frame, which is like about 2 meters by 1.5 meters. Which I'm going to strap to my roof. And both sides are going to have a banner either side. Now, it arrived, and I haven't assembled it yet, because I'm not going to drive around town with this on my car for 2 fucking months before the fringe starts, right? So I'll probably only put it up like the week before or whatever. But I wanted to unroll the banner to check that the print was okay, because some of the stuff that I've been sent has been like faded out. Like this is supposed to be a much deeper, it's supposed to be more like this kind of pink. And I keep getting stuff sent to me and I'm like, that's really washed out. So I tried to unravel this banner to check the print. It's fucking huge. Huge! It's huge, I tell you. And I'm like, this is much bigger than I thought it was going to be. It absolutely is. See, trying to convert anything from RGB to CMYK, that's been a massive problem, Craig. But I'll tell you what, some of the guys that because I've gone to all different print companies for different things, and some of the customer service has been absolutely outstanding, and they have done their damnedest to do their best for me. The guys that did this had sent me the innards for these, and I wasn't happy with it. It was very washed out. So they went to the effort of trying to reprint it for me. Like I've got to, and I will do that. I'll keep whining and moaning about FedEx and TNT and the fucking shitty things that have been happening because I want them to deal with shit as it's happening. But at the end of all of this, I'm going to be shouting out all the companies that I've used and, you know, giving them praise because honestly, there's been different levels of customer service, but it's all been touch wood so far. It's all been positive. People have tried their best to do what they can for me, but the guys that were doing these labels were outstanding. So I will definitely shout them out, but I went off on a tangent. So we're pulling out this banner and I've got my eldest kiddo trying to hold it and I'm trying to pull it because obviously it's a two-man job because it's that big. And I'm looking at it thinking, this is much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I've got quite a big vehicle. Like I drive a big Volvo, right? But the roof bars look kind of small on it because when Halford's fitted the roof bars, if you can imagine, the roof's kind of arched like that, right? It's not a flat like box like a van. It's kind of arched like this. So in order for the roof to be roof rack or roof bars to be flat, they have to be quite close together because otherwise they're going to be tapered off and wonky. So I'm looking at it thinking, is this going to be okay? But it's aluminium, so it should be quite lightweight. But then the banners are like PVC banners. And they're like 500 grams per square meter or something, like they're heavy vinyl like PVC banners. Because obviously they're waterproof, they need to be outside. So I'm thinking, this is the thing I'm most excited about so far is getting this set up and getting it on the car and then getting a photo of it and putting it on social media because it's going to be either fucking hilarious or epic. And I don't know which until I do it. But here's the thing. Buying that frame, the roof bars and the banners was cheaper than ordering like one sign from Out of Hand is the name of the company that I wasn't going to name them, but anybody can Google that. Ordering like one like large-ish outdoor sign from Out of Hand on Princess Street, for example, is about 400 quid. It was cheaper to buy a whole set of roof bars, get them fitted, an aluminium frame and 2 banners. It was cheaper to do that. And I'll still have it. Well, first of all, and I can drive all around town and more people will see it rather than just in one fixed location. But more importantly, I'll still have that frame for next year. So what I might do is I might charge for my services for other performers next year, right? If they, buy their banners, I can drive around town and charge them a fee for that and make some money. Since the buses want 3 grand for some, posters on the back of the buses. And that was with a 47% discount, by the way. 3 fucking grand. I was like, what? Anyway, the whole thing's been an adventure. There's so many things like that I know I haven't told people, and I'm like, oh, I haven't told anybody this, haven't told anybody that. And I should really be like making a diary so that I can do a big blog post about it, like Like, I don't know what you mean by that. Are the frames wind? I don't know what that means, Craig. I don't know what you mean by that. That seems like a weird random thing. I don't know what you mean. But you throw me off what I was saying. Like, I should really be documenting. If I wasn't up to my eyeballs in fucking so many menial tasks like cleaning bits of vinyl, I would have, documented it and done a little documentary. This is what it takes to put on a Fringe show. But I haven't been organised enough for that. But I will do a big blog post and I will shout out all my companies that have done my print work for me, because fuck, there's been so many of them. I've used so many different companies for so many different things because I've been trying to do it on the cheap, right? Craig, I have no idea. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? I guess it depends on how well I secure them. I'll probably be using cable ties. I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? I'm not going to be driving at fucking 70 mile an hour on the motorway. I'm going to be driving around the city centre. I'll be lucky if I can get higher than fucking 20 mile an hour. I wouldn't worry about it. It'll be fine. Like I say, it's either going to be hilarious or it's going to be epic. I just don't know which. If you see a Volvo sailing, listen, my car weighs about 2 ton. It's not a light vehicle. Trust me, I've had to try to move it. I've had to try to steer it when there was no power. When someone was pushing it, I've had to try to steer this fucker when there's no power steering. It is heavy. It's like driving a tank. Heavy. Listen, I'm going to be taking photos of this. It's like I say, it's the thing, even more than the show, and that sounds really fucking sad. The thing I'm most excited about is getting this fucking sign on the top of the car and getting a photo of it with the castle behind it, like, and putting that on social media. Like, because you know what? Do you know why? Right, and this is going to sound really wanky, but I don't care. It's like a massive fuck you to all the fucking people that have it all stitched up, right? All these English companies. And I'm not trying to sound anti-English, but it is very fucking frustrating that so little money actually goes to Scottish companies dealing with the French. They're all based in fucking England, right? So all that money goes out of the city and out of the country. And, you've got to pay an absolute fortune to one company who has some kind of fucking deal with the council. You've got to pay, some company that's based in London $3,000 to put things on the buses. Like, you've got to try and navigate or negotiate. That was the thing that put me off, like trying to contact private. I tried to do everything properly. I didn't want to just randomly put shit up on someone's railings, okay? So I went to the effort of contacting a fucking company that deals with a planning application, who then put me in touch with someone else, who then put me in touch with someone else. Like, I wanted to do it properly. I wanted to ask the landowner of that fucking field who owns the railings. I wanted the permission before I put anything. I could have just rocked up and put a fucking banner on the railing and probably nobody would have done anything. But I wouldn't have done that because I'm not a cunt, right? So I tried to do everything properly. But I was so put off by this music venue manager's attitude. I mean, I was trying to explain to him the concept of the show, and I said, when I got the email to say that it was you guys that owned the field, I was excited because I thought if anybody would understand the concept of the show and want to support up and coming independent musicians that are not on a label, it would be you guys. They're a fucking music venue. And the whole premise of Jukebox Jury is to support musicians. Up and coming musicians that aren't getting their work heard anywhere. Right? So I contacted him and he said no, and all this wanky nonsense about why the answer was no. I'm like, it is disappointing because I would have thought that if anyone would want to support up and coming artists, it would be you guys. I was very diplomatic in my email, but I must have made him feel like that, because he emailed me back and he said, "Well, I gave you my telephone number if you want to discuss it, but I don't know what we can do." Blah, blah, blah. All I wanted was, yes, you can put a banner on our railing, or no, I don't want you to do that. Like that, it was yes or no. It was quite simple. But this, like, trying to justify and going around in circles and talking nonsense, just put me off trying to approach anyone else. And as it happened, I later found out that that guy's from London. So again, not someone local dealing with it. So having to go through all that and trying to, it just put me off asking anyone else. And I wouldn't just randomly put any fucking banner up on anybody's property without asking permission. So me doing the thing with the car just totally negates all of that. It's like a massive fuck you. I don't have to ask anybody's permission. I don't have to pay a fucking exorbitant amount of money to a fucking company that, you know, it probably isn't even going to fucking make any difference if someone passes, you know, the sign in one location or not. It's like a fuck you. That's how it feels. And I like that. And that's the spirit of the Fringe. The Fringe wasn't set up as a corporate fucking identity. It wasn't set up as a, you know, like a money-making fucking exercise. The Fringe was set up because the original Edinburgh Festival was seen as being too highbrow for certain performers. You know, it was ballet, it was theatre, it was highbrow, and a lot of comedians and musicians weren't able to perform at that, so they set up a fringe festival on the fringes of the original Edinburgh International Festival, which still goes. I mean, there are multiple. There's the film festival, the TV festival, the book festival, the international festival, the Fringe festival. There's a lot, and the Edinburgh Military Tattoo. There's all these Edinburgh festivals. The Fringe is now the most famous. It is the world's largest arts festival. But it was set up as a fuck you 80 years ago, or whenever it was, 75 years ago, whatever it was. Somebody can Google that. I think 1947 it was set up, right? So it's almost 80 years. It was set up as a fuck you to the establishment that wouldn't let certain performers perform. And it's become famous for comedians because stand-up comedians go there to be discovered. You know, the Perry Award and all that kind of stuff. And that's its pedigree. But it wasn't set up as a corporate identity, you know, to make money for English companies. That's not why it was set up. So me doing my little fucking thing with, well, I'm just going to put, I'm a local, I've got a vehicle, I can drive around my own city, I'll put a sign on my own car, is like a massive fuck you. I'm not following, I'm not jumping through the hoops. So I'm really looking forward to that. I know I'm going to look like a bit of an arsehole driving my own car with my own face on the side of it. I know that it's going to look stupid. I know I'm going to be a little bit like, but with my shades on and my floppy hat, I might be a little bit less conspicuous. People aren't going to necessarily know it's me that's on the side of the vehicle that's driving it. You know what I mean? Hopefully, because I will feel daft if I'm, you know, if it's obvious that I'm driving the vehicle, you know? Here's the thing though, Craig. They won't really, because most of the people that perform at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival are not from Edinburgh. They're mostly from England. They're mostly Lovey's darling from London. But it's an international, you know, group of people from all over the world that come to perform. And when they're coming to perform, they don't have a car. They're not driving around the city in a car. You know, they're using public transport. They're using Shanks's pony. They're on their feet, or they're in taxis or whatever. They're not coming here with a vehicle, because quite frankly, Edinburgh's too small a city for people to do that. The population explodes, it quadruples during the Fringe. Like, we've got 500,000 people who live here, and then during the Fringe it goes up to like 2 million people. It's crazy. So I've got that benefit of, I'm local, I live here. I'm not traveling from America. I'm not traveling from Europe. I'm not traveling from South Africa. I'm not traveling up on the train from London. There might be a couple of people who start doing it. I kind of hope that they do. as a fuck you. You know? But I'm also aware of how absurd it's gonna look. Like, I'm aware of that. But I'm not necessarily afraid of making a fool of myself. I do hope it doesn't fly away. That would be upsetting. I think it folds flat, though. I mean, obviously, the plan would be to keep it on the car. But I think in high winds, I could just snip all the cable ties and just fold it flat. Set it back up again the next day. Like, I don't think it has to stay erect. Assembled. I don't think it needs to stay assembled. I guess I'll find out. I don't want to assemble it just now. It's too soon. I'm not driving around with it for the whole month of July as well. I'll put it on maybe the third week in July. And then you'll start seeing photos and places on my social media. And hopefully it won't, because like I say, when I opened the thing, I was like, oh my God, this is huge. It's huge. It might just be because up against me, a human being, it looks quite big, but maybe up against the car, it'll look more proportionate. I hope so. That's what she said. I don't have my, what do you call it? My sound alerts because I'm on Restream and not on OBS. I don't have my sound alerts. Because I think there's a that's what she said on the sound alerts. Have I rambled enough? Is there no one that wants to come up and talk to me? I can't end it here because I'm at an hour and 47, right? It needs to be like a rounded up number. So I'm gonna have to ramble for another 13 minutes and make it the 2 hours. Jeeves, I feel like I've heard myself talk enough. And I feel like I've heard myself talking enough that other people that are listening must feel that they've heard me talking enough. You know what I mean? I was going to send a message in the group chat to ask if anybody wanted a chin-wag, and I completely forgot I was going to do that. Whoopsie! Whoopsie-daisykins! I can't even find it now. I did put it in Discord, but I don't think anybody's even on Discord anymore. I feel like everybody's deleted that. I don't see our group chat, Jeevils. Oh, I've got it. Oh, you've got it. Oh, you have. We've got it. It'll be ear. It'll be ear. On ear. It'll be. We don't know what that accent's meant to be. I've got a whole bunch of message requests I've never noticed before. You're still on Discord. Okay, cool. I feel like I always forget about it, to be honest. And then I know that when I go live, a wee instant notification goes out on if Twitch goes live. But I don't know how many people that are signed up to my server still have it. I set it up when Haps was closing, and obviously we were all going to be ditched off the HAPS server, and it was a way to stay in touch with people, but nobody posts in it, so I'm just assuming that, I mean, it says that they're all still members, excuse me, but I'm assuming that they've just deleted it, and that's why there's like no activity on there. I'm just presuming. I'm making an assumption, I am. I be making an assumption. I be. I don't know why I keep using a West Country accent. I know it's a bit odd. I know it's a bit odd and a bit strange. I know it's a bit weird. I know it's a bit weird. If I send you a message, Jeeves, are you able to read it just now, or are you right in the middle of doing something? Doobie 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 doo bum bum. I can't type for shit. It's because my nails are too long. Everyone set up a dozen channels in Discord and it just became too many things to look at. Yeah, I haven't done that. I did one. You know how people have like, yeah, I don't know if is it called channels? I don't really know how Discord works. But yeah, people have got like different sections, different. I don't have that. I have like one room, like a general. It was, like I say, it was a way to keep in touch with people that I knew that I wouldn't keep in touch with another way because we were connected on the HAPS Discord. Discord? Yeah, it's called Discord. I had a brain fart. That's because it's tea that I'm drinking and not coffee. See, that PayPal link has come up and that's not accurate. That has expired. I haven't changed my stream bot. I need my Stream Elements bot. I need to fix that. So don't bother clicking on the PayPal people because you're just wasting your time. And I don't want anyone to waste their time. We don't be wanting that. We don't be wanting that. No, we don't be wanting that. Oh, hang on. I think I've just... Irby. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be distracted. Normally I put my phone away completely when I'm live streaming. But, you know how it is. Right. I've almost finished this tea and I still didn't have my snacks. I'm about to rectify that now. Got this nice little, like, chewy... What would we call it? It's like a kind of oat bar thing. But it tastes like cherry bakewell. Do you have cherry? I'm chum. Do you have cherry bakewell over there? Normally they're a little, like, cake, little pie cake. And it's usually got, like, ice on the top and a cherry. Dude, I've been live for nearly 2 hours. An hour and 53. No, an hour and 54. I've got all these people sitting watching, 40 eyeballs, and no one wants to come up and talk to me. They're just sitting lurking on fucking Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. Weirdos. How you doing? You right? What's happening? I've been talking about my merch. Do you want to see my groovy hat? A little bit whoa, a little bit way. Kid. Yeah, top mad for it. I realise that makes no sense to you at all whatsoever. It's very definitely a British comedy reference. I'm enjoying that. It's nice. Nom 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 nom. Yummy yummy numbers. This is great Thursday night entertainment, right? 40 people sitting watching a fat lassie eating cake. You're all very easily entertained. That is such a good cup of tea. I want another one. Nom 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 nom. Yummy 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 numbers. No, thank you. What's wrong with the stream? Is it on my end or your end? One moment, please. Excuse me a second. I hate when other people do this. Nom 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 nom. I didn't even eat the crisps, but that is so nice. That chewy. Honestly, it really tastes like cherry bakewell. If anybody knows what I mean by Mr. Kipling's cherry bakewells, that's what it tastes like. It's so nice. My throat's starting to get sore, but I think it's because the tea got cold, and it's easier for me to swallow. Oh my! It's easier for me to swallow warm things. That's what she said. It's easier for me to swallow warm drinks when because I'm still quite swollen here. But like a week ago, it was like I was swallowing broken glass. It was really sore. I still sound a little bit rough, but at least I've got some energy now. Whereas like this time last week when we did Jukebox Jury on Friday, I felt like I was dying. I had no energy. I think that was just the start of it as well. It only just started coming on that day. Over the weekend, I was like, okay, this is definitely some kind of flu or some shit. Like I just felt awful. What's going on over here? Hang on. Am I missing? Am I missing? Missy missing? Missy missy missing. Missy missy miss muss muss. Missy missy miss muss muss. Oh my. Helen can't talk. She's got a mouth full of cake. Okay, I cannot type. A mouthful of cherry bakewell. Obviously. I'm much more improved than I was, Jeeves. The night, like I say, on Friday when we did Jukebox Jury, and then over the weekend, when I was trying to swallow, it was like broken glass. It was horrible. I'm much better than I was. I still feel a bit crappy, and this is still swollen. It's not a double chin or a quadruple chin. Honestly, it's not fat. It's just that my glands are swollen because I'm in pain. Honest, gov. That's all it is. I'm not a fat bastard with a double chin, honest. I have been regaling people with my tales of fringe prep. And I cannot believe that they've all stuck around for 2 hours listening to my nonsense. I do wish that more people on Twitter would speak, because it says that I've got 40 eyeballs, but most of them are on Twitter. 36 are on Twitter. It would be nice if people would come and say hi. I appreciate you, sticking around and listening to my blah, 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 blah. But I would like to know that you're there. I would like you to at least say hi, so I know who's popped in. It was nice to see Molson. I haven't spoken to Molson for ages. Okay, what's going on? I'm getting notifications from places, but my brain's going, not enough caffeine, not enough caffeine. What windows are you opening? I'm quite proud of myself with the brightness. I messed around with the camera settings, so I wasn't like white. I mean, obviously I'm white. I mean, luminescent. But every time I change tabs and look on a different screen, the brightness just is bright again. At least I actually look like a normal human being colour today. On Friday I looked grey. Look, just you do as you're told, okay? Then you give me any of your cheek. Glick glock. Right? Then you give me this fucking champ persona bullshit, right? You know who the boss is. I'll tell you what to do when you're lurking on Twitter, okay? Oh, I laugh at my own jokes. At least I know that I was saying that earlier. At least I know that the comments work, because I was wondering. I was like, maybe people are talking to me and I'm like ignoring them. But Molson and Jeeves nipped over to check it out, and they do work. Lurky McLurkestein. Lurky McLurkerson. So what about the other 35 people that are over there lurking? Fucking weirdos. I don't know if they're Periscope people who are too shy to say anything, but they've been here consistently the entire time, so they're obviously semi-interested in what I've got to say. Even though it's just gibberish. For the most part. Did you want to see my... I feel like I've got to show Glick everything now. My magnets for the back of people's vehicles. The fucking light's terrible. This is why I could never be a salesperson. Not only because I can't sell shit, but also because my lighting's crap. So, yeah, people are going to have to drive around town with my ugly mug on the back of the car. Exciting times. This is my baby, though. This is my favourite. My framed vinyl. And it says, hit or miss. It says, jukeboxjury.info here. And it says, Edinburgh Festival Fringe 2024 here. And then I'm going to make 7-inch ones as well. Because, sometimes a 12-inch is just too big. I was saying, some people would prefer a 7-inch. Wonder if people realise they can finally chat in here. I'm not sure. But, I mean, comments are coming up on the screen, so they must be able to see your comments coming in from Twitter. I refuse to call it X, because that's bullshit. And obviously, you know, Jeeves and Moles went over to check it earlier, so presumably they can see those on the screen. I don't know why they wouldn't just, unless they're not really listening to what I'm saying, unless they're just gathering intel. Because you know there's a few sneaky fuckers that like to just hover and gather intel. And Twitter's nice and easy for them because there's no way to check who's lurking over there, you know what I mean? There are ways and means to find out who's lurking on other places, but it's harder on Twitter. It might be that. Oh well. It's no biggie. I'm out of tea again. You don't want to come up, do you? You're more than welcome. The link's in the chat. Like I say, I was expecting people to I was expecting some people to come up and have a wee chin wag like the old days. I even deliberately went live on my usual Thursday night after my radio show like I used to do on Haps. It's confusing me because even on Periscope, people would call up on the audio call-in, you know? Got all these notifications and I always feel like I've got to clear them. Does that bother anybody else? When you know you've got notifications, you've got all these open tabs, and you know that you have like notifications on them and you have to clear the notifications. Don't think you want me coming up currently. Coming up what? I only meant come into the call-in and have a chat. What were you thinking? Filth. I can't help myself. If there's a double entendre or some kind of smutty comment or a euphemism for something, I've got to knock it down. I've got to point it out. If there's a play on words, I've got to go there. That's all right then. I'm presuming you're talking about the live stream and not any other kind of stream, because we know how you like to, you know, piss on stream. You like to stream on stream. All right, Jeevos, have a good rehearsal. Thank you for keeping me company, buddy. I don't know what else I need to show you. I got QR codes for my merch, but I think they're all wrong because, like, there's the one for the framed vinyl, right? But there's no picture. And then when I look at the bucket hat, Jeeves said the price is different to the website and the photo's wrong. But when you scan it, it does take you to the right thing. So I'm a little bit confused as it. I might need to look at these things again and just check that they're correct, you know? I do like that Restream have fixed the chat thing, because when you used to put something else there and lose the chat overlay, and then you put the chat overlay back on again, all the chat would be gone and it would start afresh. I love that they fixed it so that the chat just comes straight back up on the screen again. That's the highlight of the stream for me. Restream have been fiddling. They've been fiddling and diddling, you know what I'm saying? Fiddy McFiddles. Yeah, top mad for it. No, that was the Scousers. That's a different character. It was Kevin and Perry that had the bucket hats. I kid. I'm thinking I'd really like to shag your mum. Hello, Miss Patterson. Here's Miss Patterson. I don't know if anybody from the UK is watching this, but if anybody from the UK who's the same age as me or older is watching this, they will understand what I'm saying. I'm quite proud of the stitching on this, you know. I think they've turned out well. I wasn't sure when they contacted me and said, "Oh, you've got too many colours on your logo. I'm going to have to print it instead of stitch it." I'm like, "No, I want it embroidered. Just take the other colour off." And they did. They did good. I think they did good. Anyway, the question remains. Is anyone coming up to talk to me? Or just to hold the fort for 5 minutes while I make another cup of tea? Or am I going to wrap this up because I've talked enough? It feels weird ending it when there's 43 people watching, though. Like, that feels rude. But then I don't know if there's anything else to say. I was expecting this to be a conversation amongst other people. I was expecting people to come in and say, "Hiya, long time no see. How's it going? Fancy a chin-wag?" Hasn't happened. I didn't give anybody any notice I was planning on doing this, so I just randomly hit the go live button. So to be fair, it's no one's fault but mine. To be fair. Yay. Yeah, I think I might wrap it up. I feel like I'm all talked out. I definitely want a cup of tea. I don't want to put another video on while I go make another cup of tea. And I feel like I've been on for 2 hours, which feels like long enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Distractions. Diddling, ding, 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 ding. Distractions. Okay, that's quite sore. It's probably sorer for your ears. I won't do it again. Sorry. I'm still not well. I'm feeling it, you know? Confusion. Is there anything else that I said I would tell you and I've forgotten? To recover everything. I said the GoFundMe's still running. The little QR code's in the corner. If anybody wants to donate something, there are gifts for doing that. I've shared oh, I know what I didn't do. I didn't share I gave you the print on demand link, website link, but I didn't give you the Sum Up store link. Because the QR codes only show one item, right? So there's the website link for all the merch. No, well, for the merch that I have physically that I'll be sending. And then the print on demand stuff is on Teesprings. I feel like I covered all this though, didn't I? Because I did screen sharing. Just in case anybody is interested, there's been like 15 different people that have scanned the QR code, so I'm guessing that people are looking it up and having a nosy. Thank you for that, because I know that the store isn't designed particularly well. It's very basic, but it's the people who make the card reader. It's the card reader company, and I've just decided to keep it all together so that people ordering it on the website, it all goes in the same account as the people who are paying with their card at the fringe itself, you know. But I know it's pretty basic looking. I was hoping to amalgamate both of those things. I was hoping to amalgamate the Sum Up store and the print on demand stuff from Teesprings. And I can't do it. I've got an HTML code for the Teesprings for a widget for that, but apparently I can only put that in certain places. I think it's only if I've got paid, like my website's free, my Wix is free, my site 123 for the jukeboxjury.info is free. I think if I pay for upgrades for those things, I can put in like widgets and stuff, but I think people are capable of scanning a QR code, right? Or like typing in a link, you know? I know it would look nicer, but I think after August, like, most people aren't going to buy stuff. It's to celebrate and to acknowledge the Fringe show, and then once the Fringe show's happened, I don't think people are going to be looking at merch. So it's kind of almost like a temporary thing, you know. I don't see the point in spending money for upgrades so that I can use a widget. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know, but that was my thinking. That was my logic. I'll leave the replay up because I know I've given quite a lot of information. If anybody wants to watch it again. My window's so squeaky. It's like crash because it's really windy outside. It sounds like it's really windy outside. Sorry guys, just give me a sec. Right. I guess that's it then. Nobody wants to come up to talk to me. I've sat and blethered to myself for over 2 hours. Now I'm going to feel like it needs to be 2.5 hours because it's 2 hours and 18 minutes. And my little OCD bullshit is like, I can't leave it at 2 hours and 18 minutes. So I'm going to have to wait for it to go till 1/2 or 2.5 hours. Squeak! 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 Oh, yeah, if anybody wants any cardboard album covers, the artwork, let me know. Because I'm going to have a bunch of it. I need the vinyl, but I don't need the covers. So if anybody's doing an art project or anything that requires that. 12 minutes of window sounds. Yeah, shall I see how well I can impersonate those? Excuse me. I'm dying again. It wasn't even Jeeves's fault this time. I laughed at my own joke. I can't even blame Jeeves. I was watching. I had to put a screen recording of Not Jukebox Jury from Friday there, but the previous one. Because obviously, you know, just before we do one, I put the previous one on so people know what to expect and tell them it's going to be on, right? And I was watching, and I think you were in for that one, Craig. The email from the guy with all the weird names for the songs. And I was getting all frustrated about how to pronounce the name of the album. And I watched it back. It took me over 5 minutes to read the email before I actually got into the song. And I was all like frustrated and pissed off before I even listened to it. It's quite funny. So that video's out there somewhere. It's like 5 minutes something. I'm like, shit, it should not take 5 minutes to read an email. It should just be so simple. Like, here's the name of the track. Here's the name of the band. Play it, you know? It's quite funny. I'm like... And then the video kind of cut off. I did that on purpose. The video kind of cut off before we got a chance to hear the song or whether or not it was a hit or a miss. But, like, I think more time was spent reading the fucking email than listening to the track. It's quite funny. Keep it simple, guys. I say it every week. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. It's my favourite phrase. I don't know if there's a way, because I think it's already pretty simple. I put my email address out there. People can just send me an MP3, and obviously that works because so many people do it. But I did toy with the idea of having some kind of uploader somewhere where people could like upload files, and I thought that's too complicated because then I'll have it coming from... It's already hard enough when I'm telling everyone, email it to me, and then they randomly send me links in DMs and shit, and then I lose them. I'm always saying, like, don't DM me anything because it'll get lost in the... I'm going through months worth of emails that I'm catching up on. And if someone sends me a link to Spotify in my DMs, I'm gonna miss that. So I was thinking if I set up an uploader for people to upload their files to, that'll be even more stuff that I'll miss. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's keep it all in one place and just send me the file, you know, in the email address. Speaking of which, I've got these, and these are going out to places where musicians hang out. It says, "Do you make music? Submit your 320k MP3 to radio@helenwallace.co.uk for the chance to be featured on Jukebox Jury." Where have we to send it, Helen? Where do we send it, Helen? radio@helenwallace.co.uk. That's where you send it. Don't DM it to me. Send it to me yourself. Don't get a plugger to do it. Don't send me a 3-page bio either. Just email it to me. Keep it simple, guys. Just what Craig said. Keep it simple, guys. I think I've rambled enough. I think it's time to get off of here. I think I've given everyone ample opportunity to come up and talk to me. And I haven't begged anyone, but I have reminded everyone multiple times that the link's there. Yeah, I just think... I'm just worried that if I had multiple different ways of people to send me stuff, I would lose some stuff. Do you know what I mean? It would just be...
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water.
Okay. That was my mistake. When you have notifications, because it's after 1 o'clock, right? So obviously my sleepy time thing comes on, right? And then I get all these notifications on the screen when I check them. And then when you actually hit, instead of opening this instead of opening the phone and going into the app, whatever app it is, all I did was just click on the notification, right? Not knowing what it was, it just says message from so-and-so. So I just clicked on that. Like, I've got these notifications. I click on one of them, and then some shit opens up without me being able to check it first. So I'm sorry, I apologize.
I don't like a button.
I just did it again. This is the problem with phones that open by looking at your face, right? If it was an old thumbprinty doodads, that wouldn't have happened because I would have to physically put my thumb on the thing to open it. But no, it looks at your face and then just opens. And normally when you want it to do that, it doesn't recognize your face. Like if you're in a fucking shop, especially if you've got your shades on, and you want to pay for something with Apple Pay, suddenly your face isn't your face. Your Apple Wallet doesn't recognize your face. And then you've got to put a PIN code in. But when I'm sitting here minding my own business, just, you know, trying to see what the notifications are, the phone just wants to fucking do its own thing. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. Facey's fingers, nah, I turned all that stuff off. I preferred the fingerprint. I felt there was more control over that. Also, you know, if there's something covering your face or your face isn't recognized, it's easier. For example, if I walk around with this, can you imagine? Even if I've not got my shades on, say I've got my normal glasses on, which it recognises, but let's just say I'm walking around town with me bucket hat like this, like kid, right? And I want to pay for something, right? This is my face now. It won't recognise my face now. A fingerprint would just open the fucking thing. You're watching some weird advert. Lol, whatever you're saying, but I'm watching some weird advert. I'm not trying to advertise anything. Do you remember when COVID was a thing? And we all had masks on our faces. And we couldn't use our fucking facial recognition on our phones to pay for anything, but everything was a contactless payment because nobody wanted to handle cash. So you had to pay with your Apple phone or pay with your card, but you still had to type in the thing on the doodads because your face was covered. I preferred the thumbprint. Anyway, whatever, I'm rambling. We're at 2 hours and 27 and a half minutes. I'm almost at 2:30 exactly. Nobody seems to want to come up. Right? I'm not going to push the point. It is after 2 a.m. here. I'm going to go make a cup of tea and have my crisps. That's still never ate. Crisps, mind. Not fucking chips. Crisps. Although it says pop chips on it. They're liars. They're crisps. On that bombshell, I'm going to go. I actually had wanted to play out on a video. Do I have that video here? No, I don't, because I'm a twat. Can I upload it quickly enough? Possibly. Let's have a look at that. Helen, how quick are you at doing this shit? All right. 2:28. I think that's about us. Thank you all of you, all 43 of you, sitting there, lurky McLurkin the whole time, keeping me company, even though I don't know who the fuck you are. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me company. Remember, if anyone has a subscription to anything, doesn't matter whether it's Twitch, Buy Me a Coffee, Mixcloud, 365 Sounds, TikTok, or anything else you can have a subscription to me on, you'll get 10% off your merch if you're interested in buying merch. There's no pressure. All right, Craig, I'm going. Bye. See you all later. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye.